it really, really did make me laugh. I mean, look at this. It's just, of all the things we could have expected. So everybody here, thank you for joining me as always, and the big day is here. I don't know which order you're going to watch these videos, but I've done a Thor 4 movie trailer reaction video where we react to it live. But given how that trailer ends, and given how many videos we've done about Chris Hemsworth on this channel, and that everybody is obsessed with Chris Hemsworth's physique, hence why the trailer ends in the way it does, I was like, we've got to sit down and we've got to talk about it. Now, if you don't know, since that movie has been in promotion, there has been a very specific PR campaign, marketing campaign, whatever you want to call it, to be like, hey man, look at Chris Hemsworth, he's getting even bigger. Even when they wrapped the movie and they were taking pictures, they had one of Chris Hemsworth looking absolutely ridiculous. Now, when you do go through the trailer, you will see shots such as this, where he's in his Thor superhero costume, whatever you want to call it. And you can even tell by his arm, he has 100% put on mass, and he is 100% more ripped than he was before. Now, you could probably argue it, because I'm not saying it's night and day here. I'm sure he probably followed the same routines, etc., etc. But aside from the fact that you do see little snippets of this throughout, it's when we get to the end that we need to talk about. So we'll start with this image here. I've got it here on my phone, so I'm just going to get it up. And that, I mean, that is pretty ridiculous, all things considered. Now, do not forget, you can go on Chris Hemsworth Instagram right now. You can go on any of his social media feeds. He is not in that shape. So he's not walking around looking like this. The last thing you want to do is see this and go absolutely crazy. Like, oh my gosh, I need to look like that 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's not going to happen, whether you're on PEDs or not. It just isn't. You're going to have superior genetics to begin with. But also, do not forget that they would have built up to this, and he'll have the right lighting. He will have peaked for this. He would have got massively pumped up beforehand. Who knows how many pre-workout stuff he's on. You know what I mean? Everything will be aimed at making him look, well, like a giant and ripped. Now, if you are just looking at it from a visual aesthetic point of view, what a great portrayal of Thor this is. Because, you know, when you see them in the comic books and the graphic novels, they are humongous. And, like, there's no way that we'd be able to replicate that on the big screen, which is why sometimes muscles are built into suits. Even The Rock came out and said, no muscles built into my suits. And I was like, yes, we all know, Rock, good for you. And in this case, like, Thor doesn't really have a muscle suit, so to speak, so he's just taken his clothes off instead. And I do think it's absolutely hilarious that this is how we ended the movie, with Russell Crowe's character exposing Chris Hemsworth's. I mean, some of it looks CGI'd. I know it's not, but just the way that it's done. I mean, we'll use this picture now too. And you can see his abs. I mean, he's not like pro bodybuilder low body fat, is he? But he's pretty low body fat. And you can see all the definition in his deltoids and his triceps and his pec. Let me just roll it on to get to another point. Like, so you get to see it from the side there. Let me go back on that. Because often when you see somebody from the side, you do obviously get a different perspective. There we go. And so, yeah, I mean, look, he's not like the biggest dude you've ever seen, but that is a physique most people would want. I mean, they just would. Let's not even pretend otherwise. And when you don't really get to see him from behind, so we can't really take his back off. But in that part that I've just gone by, when I will zoom back, no, that's his side again. I want to get to that point where they're there, where he's flexing and stuff. I mean, he's just in really good shape. And I know, how did he get there? How did he not get there? I'm sure it's going to tie into all the marketing and the advertising, what he ate, what he didn't eat, chicken and rice, chicken and rice, chicken and rice, chicken and rice. But the best thing you can do is, if you do like the way that he looks and it gets you all pumped and excited, just use it as an inspiration and nothing more, right? That's what you need to do. Don't go too crazy or anything like that. And in fact, we should check the comments. We're on YouTube right now. I want to see if anybody has said anything about his physique. He's usually more on Instagram. Somebody mentioned that he's now got a good bod. Most people are talking about the comedy. Anything else? They really said, nah, make him flick every clothes off, just blur it out. So hype for this movie. Or maybe they blurred his penis. I don't know. I wasn't even looking at that. I was just looking at his chest and his arms and everything like that. Oddly, there's not that many comments about it. I get it, right? Because if you're a hardcore Marvel fan, why do you even care about that? I mean, a lot of people are just saying that it's funny that he gets his clothes thrown off to begin with. But look, I think regardless what else that he's doing, the dude and the Hemsworth family in general, because Liam Hemsworth does this as well, just has, you know, really, really good genetics. But also on top of that, do you know what they got? They got the best personal trainers, and they've got money, and they're being paid to get in shape. And Greg Doucette has always said this in the best way: if you're being paid $1 million to look a certain way, you're going to have pretty good motivation to do what you have to do to get there. But the thing is, I bet if you saw him on the day they did that shot, and even if you saw him a few days later, he still wouldn't look like that. Because again, they would have built up to this, they would have pulled the trigger, they would have got the shots, and then be like, right. Also, fair play play to him too, because I think sometimes we do forget about this, and I was thinking about this the other day. How hard must it be to do, and acting in general is pretty tough, but to do it all with your top off, man, I think that's a whole other mental game that you've got to play, because you're stood there, there's going to be camera people and sound people and other actors and the director. I mean, you're probably doing this in front of, 100 plus people? Maximum, a minimum around about 80 or so. And yeah, I don't know, that's a lot of pressure to put on one person when it's like you have to look like this guy and you have to look better than you did last time. So no wonder they try and dial it in as much as they can do, but it really, really did make me laugh. I mean, look at this. It's just, of all the things we could have expected, I'm not sure we were thinking that. Although I will say, and I'm really pulling at straws here, but again, I want to try and tie all this in. He doesn't look as big as he did in that one picture when he was stood next to Taki Wakiti, can never pronounce his name, the director. Because again, once again, they were trying to get a certain message out there. Now, I'm not saying he's bad shape. I'm not saying he's small. If we all walked around looking like that, we'd be happy pandas. There absolutely is a design here in order to make you go, holy crap, and maybe that makes you buy an extra movie ticket. Maybe it makes you share it with a friend. Maybe it makes you buy Chris Hemsworth's Center app. I don't know. If I'm going to be super facetious and super conspiracy theory, not conspiracy, maybe he has a deal with Marvel where he's like, hey man, I'm a massive part of your franchise right now. I'm trying to push this thing. The Thor Physique has become a meme almost, an internet sensation. Can we also, put a spotlight on it because it may help me in the back end? We just don't know. And maybe Chris Hemsworth has really good intentions. Until we talk to him, we can't make that decision. But I will end this just by saying, no, I do not believe he got there with chicken and rice, chicken and rice, chicken and rice. Because you can do chicken and rice, chicken and rice, chicken and rice. You can train your ass off 7 days a week. You can do your cardio. You can be the most dedicated person in the world. And the chances are you're probably not going to look like that. Don't mean to burst your bubble. So the best thing you can do, I know I say it all the time, it's my catchphrase, but we'll run it into the ground. Just be in competition with yourself. Become the best version of you. Maybe you look like him. Maybe you don't. Maybe you work on your abs. Maybe you work on your delts. Maybe you just want to put on a few pounds of muscle mass over a few years. This is okay. That's all the gym is. And I get it can be annoying because you want to look as good as people you're comparing yourselves to, but just teach yourself not to do it. Get out of that habit. Compare yourself with yourself, and that's all you ever got to do. Beat yourself from last week. Beat yourself from yesterday, and make sure that somewhere deep down in your subconscious, you already know you're going to beat yourself next week as well. And then the gym and health and fitness is awesome. Well, don't forget, most of the time, if you do lose a bunch of body fat, even if you don't put on a lot of size, people will notice and go, wow, you're looking great, because it's only within these niches that we get to super duper big levels. And that's one of the worst things. They say one of the worst things you can ever do is pick up a weight because you get obsessed with it and then you lose complete touch with reality. So don't forget that either. You do not need to look like Chris Hemsworth in order to be a success in the gym. And in fact, you're a success for even going to begin with. Even if you are a 450-pound dude and you've gone there to lose some weight, good for you, man. You've made that decision and more power to you. It's going to take some time. It's going to take some dedication, but I know that you can do it. But there it is. The Chris Hemsworth Thor 4 Physique. I'm sure a bunch of more pictures and better pictures will come out soon, and we can laugh and roll around about that. But throwing everything else out the window, he did a really good job. And no matter what he was doing or wasn't doing, he would have worked damn hard for that, because muscles don't grow on trees. Now, please do like the video, share the video, and subscribe. Get the bell ding ding so that other videos are going live. There will be another video on the screen. Please do give it a click and leave a comment below and let me know what you think about this. Maybe you think it sucks, which would be crazy. Your expectations are ridiculous. Also, grillermind.com/Simon. These are the supplements that I use, and if you use the code Simon to get 10% off, I think they're really good. Ingrid Doucette's Power 13 cookbook. On Instagram and Twitter at Simon316. Come give me a follow. Send me a message. All good. It's good for my ego. On Cameo, if you want to shout out, patreon.com/Simon316, which are housing the Jim Fells videos at the moment. So if you know, you know. If you don't know, to worry about it. SimonMiller.BigCartel.com, and I probably said all of that too fast, but I figure if you watch a lot of my videos, you're bored of it, but I still want to attack your brain with it, so we just zoom through it as quickly as we can. You take care of yourself. Goodbye.